Since any date, if it is not available, the modern historians declare that as a mythical. So tomorrow, after 1,000 years, if our birth date and our important dates were not known, then we may also be mythical after 1,000 years. The Bhadrabahu's disciple Chandragupta, who became Vishakhacharya, and somewhere he attained Nirvana in Shravanabelgola in Karnataka. Then Buddha has been dated by Puranas around 1900 to 1800 BC. But modern historians date somewhere 563 to 483 BC. There is a 1380 years gap. So this is just, you don't know the chronology, you can't just reject the history as a mythology. Somewhere, if we lost the chronology, that's why many our historical legends became mythology. Now, since entire world chronology has been reset, even reconciled based on the first AD as a sheet anchor. Now, how can we independently verify whether the birth year of Jesus Christ is first AD? Because we have to explain Star of Bethlehem. So generally the historians never explain how Star of Bethlehem can be explained. But entire world historians followed first AD as a sheet anchor. If it is a sheet anchor, it has to be independently verifiable. There are many unsolved puzzles in Indian chronology. So the first, the puzzle number 1, this is actually, if we look into our Puranas and before the colonial era, what kind of history was taught to the Indians. So there is a traditional chronology which has been related in many yugas. So almost 1839 yugas have been elapsed till date. Now the 1840th yuga is running. Then what is the span of the yugas? How can we chronologically explain to the world? So this is the puzzle number 1, how we will solve this, because before Mahabharata, entire chronology has been divided into yugas. Next. Now the puzzle number 2, the Mahabharata onwards. The chronology has been perfectly given in Puranas. So traditional chronology says that Mahabharata war took place somewhere in the 32nd century BC. Then Buddha has been dated by Puranas around 1900 to 1800 BC. But modern historians date somewhere 563 to 483 BC. There is a 1380 years gap. Because Mahabharata war has not been dated by the modern historians, since any date, if it is not available, the modern historians declare that as a mythical. So tomorrow, after 1,000 years, if our birth date and our important dates were not known, then we may also be mythical after 1,000 years. So this is just, you don't know the chronology, you can't just reject the history as a mythology. So we have to, yes, there is always scope for research to how we can establish the chronology, because without chronology, you can't, historical narrative you can't establish. So this is the major problem, how we are going to explain this 1380 years, since Buddha has been dated 1380 years ahead. So now Adi Shankaracharya's traditional date is the 6th century BC. But he has to be dated around 788 to 820 CE. Next. This is the puzzle number 3. According to our tradition, the 57 BC, the Vikramaditya was ruling. He had Navaratnas, Varahamihira, Kalidasa, they refer to Shakaira. If Shakaipo commenced in 78 AD, how are people living in the 1st century BC referring to Shakaira? So tradition says there were 2 different epochs, but our modern textbooks say that there is only one Shaka that commenced around 78 CE. Therefore, Vikramaditya was a mythical king. So this is somewhere, we lost the chronology, that's why many our historical legends became mythology. So epigraphic studies, I have proven that there were two different shakas. One shaka commenced somewhere 583 BC, and the later shaka 78, Indian astronomers reset the epoch to get accurate calendrical calculations to, and as well as incorporate the Ayanamsha, because the correction to equinoxes has to be incorporated in the calendar. So this is the 660-year error that 1380 years we have to adjust. This is the first correction. There is a 660 years error. Next. Another, the tradition says Chandragupta of Ujjain. He was the disciple of Bhadrabahu. Nowhere it is written in our tradition that he was the Chandragupta Maurya. But only later Jain tradition, Hemachandra onwards, the Bhadrabahu's disciple Chandragupta, who became Vishakhacharya, and somewhere he attained Nirvana in Shravanabelgola in Karnataka. So the mistaken identification of Bhadrabahu's disciple Chandragupta with Chandragupta Maurya led to a concept that Mahavira and Buddha were contemporaries. So the dating of Buddha has been brought forward by more than 720 years. This 720 and 660, this is the real error of 1380 years. Next. Then another puzzle, the Greek historians generally mention about Indian king Sandrocotus, who was the contemporary of Alexander. Indian traditional records have no record of Alexander's invasion, and according to Puranic dating, Chandragupta Maurya flourished around 1600 BC. But modern textbooks have mistakenly identified, actually it was the Sir William Jones in 1784, he founded the Asiatic Society. He identified the Sandrocotus as a Chandragupta Maurya. So this led to dating of Chandragupta Maurya and Alexander around 323 BC. Next. Our archaeologist R.S. Bish sir, he is sitting, he is a Padma Shri awardee. I know he has some reservations about this. There is one submerged city has been found in the Gulf of Cambay. But yes, the water is very polluted. The sonars could not take the proper pictures. But the Badri Narayan of the National Institute of Oceanography, he collected some pottery, and pottery has been dated based on the OSL method. That led to, and as well as the oceanographic studies. The sea level was almost 120 meters below if we go back to around 12,000 to 14,000 years ago. So around 11,000 BC, the city was above the sea level. That was submerged around 9,000 BC. That's why one wood piece found in that city, around that carbon dated around 7,500 BC. Next. Now, since entire world chronology has been reset, even reconciled based on the first AD as a sheet anchor. Now, how can we independently verify whether the birth year of Jesus Christ is first AD? Because we have to explain Star of Bethlehem. When Jesus was born, the astronomers of the Jerusalem, they have found that one brightest star, unusually brightest star was visible. That was actually Jupiter-Saturn or Jupiter-Venus conjunction. Two planets when come very close, then that appears like a one star and it is very bright. It is generally not seen in the sky. So that Kepler, he said that it was around 7 BC, but that was only in that year, but not on the date of either 25th December or 6th January. These are the only two dates available for the Jesus birth. So generally the historians never explained how Star of Bethlehem can be explained, but entire world historians followed first AD as a sheet anchor. If it is a sheet anchor, it has to be independently verifiable. But I am not questioning the historicity of Jesus. He was a historic person, but he has to be dated only after when we established the date of Augustus. Next. There is another, this is the Venus tablet found in the Babylon. Till date, all world historians fail to date it. It exactly gives the dates of the king Ammisaduqa. He was the 5th successor of Hammurabi. The Hammurabi's successor, His reign duration was 21 years. Every year, the Venus heliacal rising and setting dates have been given in this tablet. But historians could not date it because they were searching the date in a wrong chronology. Therefore, presently in the textbooks, there are 5 different dates are available for the Hammurabi. I don't know how one person can have a 5 different date in 3 centuries. So these puzzles, how we are going to solve. So I tried to solve these problems in my books. So we made a one short documentary film around 15 minutes. We just run that documentary film so that you can go see that how these puzzles can be solved. Thank you.